Welcome back, guys, to a new type of game that is very close to my heart. This type of rocket game is called the Kerbal Space Program, and it's in development game right now on Steam. It's been out for a while, but anyway, this type of game, I've always really liked rocket type games, and in fact, when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a rocket scientist, but you know, what kid doesn't want to be a rocket scientist? So anyway, I got this Kerbal Space Program, and I decided that I'm going to make some videos for it. So, I'm just going to start off by doing some of the training things that they have here. I'm not really sure, you know, like what the training, like how to do anything, really. So I guess we can just go to the construction basics, right? This tutorial, presented by the famous rocket scientist Werner Kerman himself, covers the basics of rocket construction in the vehicle assembly building. He's waiting for you down there and is always in high demand. Don't dally. Okay, I won't dally. Let's get started. Oh, wrong one. Okay, construction basics. Werner von Kerman. Welcome to today's lecture on vessel construction. Oh, this is in Werner von Kerman's voice. Welcome to today's lecture on vessel construction. I'm Werner von Kerman. Whether you want to put a satellite into orbit, fly a transcontinental flight, or step into the very surface of the moon, you're going to need to build yourself a ship. It should be pretty easy, even if you're not a famous rocket scientist like myself. First part required in any vessel construction is a command module. This part will either contain a plucky Kerbal crew or an automated pilot mechanism. Please select a command module from the parts list. Raise them. This one costs more, I guess. I'm taking it. Give me. Oh. Interesting choice. Not what I would have picked, but after all, you're not a famous Kerbal rocket scientist like me. Thanks, Werner Kerman, whatever. I think I'm saying that wrong, but whatever. If you ever need to move the vessel around the screen, you can pick it up by clicking the command pod. This will allow you to fit more parts beneath the vessel. Okay, right click this to move around, I guess. Next thing we need is some fuel to burn. Select one of the fuel tanks on the left. Click once to select it, then click again to attach it to the bottom of your ship. Get it. This one, it costs more, and I'm not paying for it. Okay. Not too bad. You might just be getting the hang of these. Now, let's add a rocket to the ship. This creates a high jet of high energy gas, which pushes the vessel along. Select one from the left and add it underneath the fuel tank. Go with the most expensive one again. Looking good. You remind me of a younger, less experienced, considerably less famous version of myself. Oh, thanks, Werner von Kerman. You're so nice. Some parts are designed to be attached to the surfaces of others. These allow you to build intricate radial structures and attach ever more rockets. Okay. Now attach some radial parts to the vessel. You can use the two large buttons in the bottom left screen to control how the editor duplicates and snaps surface mounting parts. This guy's so full of himself. Let's get this going. Radial stuff. Ooh, oh. I want it this level. But right here. Yeah? Close enough. Let's put two more there and there. Looks good. Interesting looking ship. Let's hope it goes better than it looks. If you want to see the way to lift and thrust distribution, you can use those three small buttons in the lower left. What? I don't even know. Whatever. Center of mass. Oh. Wow, this is much more advanced than any other rocket game I've ever played. Huh. Center mass, center of lift. I think that's where it's thrusting off of. And this is where it's actually thrusting out, I guess. Huh, that's pretty cool. Last but not least, make sure you assign a name to your vessel by selecting the name box and then save it. Control, okay, awesome. USS Quent. Okay. And yeah, that's safe. Safe. Looks like our time is almost up. I have to go give yet another science briefing to the world's media. I'll unlock the rest of the parts and features for you to play with. You can hit the launch button when you're ready to fly. Aim for the stars, my friend. Okay, let's put some stuff on these, I guess. Structural fuselage. What is this? I really don't even know what part this is. I think that's just one of these. Nope. How do you delete? Ah! Ah! Put it back. Did I delete it? I think so. I can't see it. Guess add some fuel canisters to this thing. Fuel. I don't even know. Where is this fuel thing? Whatever. Let's just launch it. How do you launch it? Right here? This thing? Launch. Save. Okay, launch. Huh? Jebediah Kerman is in the cockpit. How do I turn things on? Go. Nope, not that. Let's warp. Go. Other controls? Settings. Okay, go. Up. W. Enter. Scroll wheel. Click the scroll wheel. How do you do this? Lights. So, oh, nope. Gears, whatever. Brakes, nope. Okay, go. I'm in the middle of the earth? Why am I all the way out there? I'm not even like on the outside of the earth. I'm in the middle of it. Never mind. I need to go. How do I go? Okay, docking. Gotta just undock myself. Control mode, shift, space. What? What am I doing? SAS. Go. Throttle. Yeah, throttle. Plus. Okay, I'm back here. I couldn't figure out how to get launched. I went to check the controls and my game wasn't responsive. So I had to quit out and I'm back here. I rebuilt the ship and I also figured out that there are these things up here. So we were just looking at structural before. If we go to propulsion maybe, and they might have tanks. Yeah, tanks. Awesome. Attach this onto the side there, right? Yeah. Some more of those. It's like trash cans. Let's get some more of these. Hey. Gimme. Okay. There we go. And there we go. Of all that, let's look at our center of mass is right there. I think it might be a little off to one side, whatever. Center of lift. I still think that's kind of off center. Whatever. Center of thrust will be right there. That's awesome. Whatever, let's get started. I think I figured it out, but I don't know for sure. Okay. Left shift is to increase thrust. That's what it said. Left shift. Right shift. Left control, they said, was to decrease thrust. And staging. Stage 2. Yeah. This still isn't working. Okay, I'm getting out of this. Let's see. So let's see if I go to end scenario. And then, oh my gosh, yeah, I did it again. I'm clicking around. Still doesn't respond though. So we're gonna have to stop this and we're gonna start the next training session. Okay, the game just started back up. We're gonna go back into another training session. Training. Flight basics, there we go. I need to just plug my mouse real quick. Okay, there we go. If I could just, there we go. Gene Kerman, so he's American. Welcome to the Kerbal Space Center launch facility. I'm Gene Kerman, and I will teach you the basics of piloting a spacecraft. If you haven't yet done the vehicle assembly tutorial, I recommend you do so before going through this one. If you're ready to go, press next. That's very realistic. In real life, you tell people to press next all the time. Flying a spacecraft is all about being in the control of generally very chaotic situation. As a pilot, your main flight controls will affect the pitch, roll, and yaw of the ship. Let's look at those first. All the other controls will be locked until they're needed or this tutorial is closed. Pitch is the angle of the nose in the ship relative to the horizon. A positive pitch angle means the nose is pointed upwards, while a negative pitch angle means the nose is pointing toward the ground. You control the pitch of your ship through these keys, W and S. Okay, up and down, pretty easy. Pitch indicator. Oh, okay, cool. Press down, you go up. Press up, you go down. That's obvious. Not really, but whatever. Yaw is the rotation of the ship around its vertical axis. It is a side-to-side motion of the ship's nose. A positive yaw angle means the ship nose is turned to the right, while a negative angle means it's turned to the left. These are the keys that control yaw. A and D. I wonder... Yeah, whatever. And then rotation, maybe? Oh, roll. Okay. Cool. Roll is the rotation of the ship around its longitudinal or front-to-back axis. It is a motion of leaning or banking to the left or right. The roll of the ship is controlled by these keys, Q and E. Q is rolling to the left, E is roll to the right. Oh, that's cool. You can see my thing is doing stuff there. Press up and down, nothing. Left and right doesn't control anything either. Whatever. Next. By controlling the pitch, yaw, and roll together, you can keep the ship in a controlled, level flight. Next, let's look at another basic flight control. The throttle control affects the output power of the ship's engines. More throttle means more thrust, and therefore more speed and lifting power. Note that the throttle will only affect engines that can be throttled, like liquid engines. Solid boosters don't have any throttle control, and will burn at top capacity until their fuel runs out. Holding the ship at full throttle over a long period of time that can cause the engines to overheat, and will eventually explode if that heat isn't managed. Throttle is controlled by the following keys. Left shift is throttle up, left control is throttle down. It's like I said that, but it just wasn't working or something. Throttle plus pitch, roll, and yaw are the main controls you'll need to master for a successful crash-free flight. Remember that all these controls have a limited amount of effectiveness, so bigger, heavier ships will probably respond much more sluggishly to the controls than a little small one. It's a good idea to keep in mind that as stages are separated from the ship, it will become lighter and therefore easier to control. Next, let's look at the rest of the flight controls. SAS stands for Stability Augmentation System, although Kerbal astronauts usually refer to it as Sickness Avoidance Scheme. Whatever it stands for, what it does is try to stop the ship from spinning around using the computer-controlled auto-torque drive compensator technology to counteract the rotation of the ship. Keep in mind that to use SAS properly, your ship needs to be fitted with an SAS or ASAS module, otherwise SAS won't have any effect. SAS can be activated momentarily by holding down the F key or by toggling the T key. You can give it a try now, although it probably won't do much until we are actually flying. Okay, F, see this down here, SAS. T is toggle, cool. RCS stands for Reaction Control System. It consists of small thrusters to help control the ship's orientation and translation. The RCS can be activated by pressing the R key. Give it a try and notice how the RCS LED turn on when it's activated. Mind that for your RCS to do anything, your ship must have RCS thrusters and monopropellant tanks installed. RCS is particularly useful when you're out in space, as aerodynamic control surfaces tend not to work very well outside the atmosphere. RCS, cool. Okay, next. In flight, all the planning you put into the staging sequence of your ship comes into practice. From launch to the final deployment of the descent parachutes, you can control the activation of several of the ship's parts by activating stages. Space launch activated next stage. Okay. Notice the stage indicator in the lower left corner. It shows the current active stage. Since we haven't launched yet, it's showing the first stage to be activated. I have your staging controls locked for now, so the LED next to the indicator is glowing purple. We're almost done here. You'll be launching in no time. Space does nothing. The important part of flying is knowing how your ship is orientated and where it is going. A good pilot is always aware of the ship's attitude, as it's called, and the velocity vector. The big round instrument on the lower center of the screen is called the nav ball. This device sums up most of the critical information needed for proper, death-free flight. Here you see the ship's nose in relation to the horizon, as well as its heading, compass bearing, and speed. You also get several icons that indicate things like your current velocity, but we'll have a look at those later. On the upper part of the screen, you have your altimeter, vertical speed, and atmosphere gauges. Vertical speed? Oh, right here, maybe? I don't know. The altimeter will show you the distance to the planet's surface at sea level. This means the actual surface may be higher up, so watch out for ground when landing. Your vertical speed gauge shows how fast your altitude is changing. When launching, it's considered best to keep this gauge pointing up. Okay, yeah, if you want to go down. The atmosphere gauge indicates how deep the ship is in the planet's atmosphere. This helps you know if the ship is high enough for orbiting without losing speed to air resistance, or judge how effective wings and control surfaces will be. The guys on the lower right corner are the crew of the ship. It's generally a good idea to try to keep them alive throughout the flight. No, I think Jebediah doesn't want to live. Look at him. He's so happy. This guy is like, ah. What? Oh, he's by himself too. That's awesome. Aha! You're a curious one, aren't you? The IVA button over each crew member's portrait will let you see the ship from his own perspective. Note that in this mode, your flight UI has less instruments, since most of them can be found in the cockpit itself. In the internal view, right-clicking will toggle between mouse look and interact modes, so you can look around without having to hold down the right mouse button. Try looking around and clicking on things. The engineering department says there are many devices in here that actually work. They seem to be quite proud of that, in fact. You can also cycle through the point of view of other crew members by using the V button. Okay. Woo. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So it does work like I thought. Okay, whatever. You like to see. Okay, next. This concludes our flight tutorial. Hopefully by now you should know enough to be able to pilot a spacecraft. When you close this window, all controls will be unlocked and you'll be clear to launch. Oh yeah, I've been waiting for that. Hopefully they do actually work. At any time, you may press escape to pause the game. In the pause menu, you can restart the flight or end this tutorial and return to the main menu. Hit space when you're ready to launch. Good luck. Set throttle to max. Why? Okay. Finish tutorial. Now space. Oh yeah. This is easy. Oh, I think I just ran out of fuel. Did I? Yep, ran out of fuel. Oh, that is awesome. I just attached. And then, now I'm falling back down. So, parachute. Haha. That is awesome. I want to see that thing hit the ground. Oh my gosh. Haha. Yeah, that wasn't good. Oh yeah. Also, I'm not really sure. Parachutes just catch when they're close to the ground, I guess. Okay, here we go. Wait, land on a corner. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Hopefully I can click around once I get off of this. Awesome. Okay, orbiting 101. Cool, whatever, I'm just gonna get to it. Hopefully you don't have to build anything. Who's gonna teach us now? It's gonna be... Oh, it's Gene again. Oh man, I don't even like Gene. I'm falling. Oh no. Welcome to Orbiting 101 Training Program. I'm Gene Kerman, and I'm going to teach you the basics of orbiting. I assume you have already done the basic flight tutorials, and are now ready to learn how to get around in space. If you haven't done them, well, I hope you know what you're doing. Let's get started. Orbiting is really nothing more than free falling. The only thing is that as you fall, you are moving so fast forward, you actually miss the ground. Because up here, there's no atmosphere to slow you down. You will continue to free fall endlessly around the planet without having to use your engines. We are currently on a low, almost circular orbit around Kerbin. To get a better view of the situation, press M to go into map view. That's not even close, I guess it is kind of circular. But it's not even close, they're still way far away in one point. This is the map view. Here you can see the ship's position and its current trajectory around the planet. Use the mouse to look around to see your orbit from various angles. Also, hovering over the icons on the map will display more information about them. Close the map when you're ready. Press the M key again so we can proceed. Yeah, whatever. Good, now let's get practical. I trust you already know how to use basic spacecraft controls. Up here they're very much the same, only the lack of atmosphere makes the ship behave quite a bit differently. Because there is no drag slowing you down, for every input you'll apply, you have to apply an opposite one to come to a stop again. I'm going to remotely nudge your attitude controls a little bit. Try to get the ship back under control afterwards. You'll find yourself totally out of control. Hit toggle to toggle the SAS on. Are you ready? No. What is he doing? What's he doing? What? There, you're in control now. Stop rotation using pitch, yaw, and roll commands. Okay. Okay, I want to... Wait, yeah. Back? Nope, I want to go forward. Right, and I want to spin to the right. That is right? I think so. Can I, oh yeah, roll. Oh, there we go, yeah. That's the main thing, I think. Oh, wait, back. Go forward. Pitch, oh yeah, down is up, up is down, that's right. Except for I still think I'm messing it up somehow. Oh my god. Ah, that was so hard. I don't even know. Oh my god. I'm not doing that again. I'll come back and practice this on my own. But what was that? Oh. Okay, now let's have a look at the nav ball. You've probably seen the symbols on it when you're spinning around. Here's what they mean. Prograde vector. It points toward your velocity vector. That is, the point where you're going. Retrograde vector. It points directly away from your velocity. Prograde waypoint vector. It points toward your current waypoint. Retrograde waypoint vector. It points directly away from your current waypoint. What's a waypoint? I don't know. Okay, now let's try something a little more involved. Open your map again. Oh, man. What we want to do now is go through some of the basic maneuvers you'll need to know. Let's try raising your apoapsis first. The apoapsis is the highest point in an orbit and is indicated by the node marked AP. Boom. The best place to raise your apoapsis is at the periapsis node, which is the lowest point of your orbit. If you hover the mouse over the periapsis node, you'll see that we are going to reach it in a few minutes. Once there, we'll face prograde and burn. Press period to speed up time a little so we can get there faster. Okay. Okay. Period. Okay, then comma is back. Good. Okay, time is now passing 5 times faster than normal. We should be there in a few moments. You can control the time warp with the period or comma keys, or click on the arrows on the left panel on the top left of the screen. This time, I'll put us back to normal time just before we reach our periapsis. Out of training though, you'll have to warp down to 1 time yourself, so don't go too fast, you might miss your mark. Okay, I'm gonna go speed up to 10 times. Okay, we are a few seconds away from periapsis now. Time to turn prograde and do our burn. However, instead of closing the map, let's just bring up the nav ball here, so we can see what's happening to our orbit as we accelerate. To bring up the nav ball on the map, click on the little tab on the bottom center of the screen, or press the numpad period key. Period. Good. Time to do our burn. Turn the ship to face a prograde vector now. Turn SAS on if you need help maintaining stability. Remember, the prograde vector looks like this. Make sure the ship is pointing toward it before accelerating. Okay, I can do one at a time. I just need to find the prograde mark. I can't find it. Oh no. Okay. Whoop, 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 there we go. Okay, now we have to throttle up. Oh, I was pressing the wrong button, I think. Hey. Oh, that's retrograde. Oh no. Turn 180 degrees. Oh no, I'm plus 16 seconds. That's awesome. About 80,000 meters. If I make us crash though. Notice on the opposite side of your orbit starts to rise as you accelerate. I do see that. Press stop. 500,000, 600,000. Oh yeah. 700,000. Okay, cut our throttle. Now, awesome, we're orbiting. Well done. This is how you reach your apoapsis node. This is how you raise your apoapsis node. With orbital maneuvers, pretty much everything you do will affect the opposite side of your orbit. So to raise the highest point, apoapsis, you thrust forward or prograde at the lowest point, periapsis. Similarly, to raise your periapsis, you thrust prograde at apoapsis. We're on our way to the apoapsis now, so do just that. Press next when ready, and I'll warp time to get us there quickly. Time warp is 50 times? Okay, we're on our way to the apoapsis node now. Notice how your ship loses speed as we rise. That's because we're climbing away from the planet. So we lose speed as we go higher, just as you would if you were climbing a hill back here on Kerbin. The higher you are, the slower your orbit will be. Notice how the moon's orbital speed is around 540 meters per second, while yours is far higher. When we reach the apoapsis, we will burn prograde again to raise the periapsis node and circularize our orbit. Okay. So I'm looking retrograde right now. Okay, here we are. Same as before. Turn prograde and fire up those engines, and watch the periapsis rise. Mind that we are probably turned the other way right now, so the prograde vector might not be visible. Prograde vector, okay. Okay, come on. And burn. Wow, that periapsis is really close to the Earth. Keep burning until the prograde, until the orbit is nearly circular. That's interesting. Oh, is that how circular it is? Yes. So this has to get up to 814,000. Nicely done. This is how you change the size of your orbit. This maneuver should come in handy on many situations. Next, we're looking at changing your orbital inclination. Press next when ready to proceed. Your orbital inclination is the angle of your orbit makes to Kerbin's equator. If you've managed to maintain a reasonable amount of control this far, you should still be nearly zero inclinational orbit. That is, even though we've changed the altitude of our orbit, it still has the same inclination as before. Changing inclination is done by thrusting in 90-degree angles to your prograde vector, but without changing your pitch relative to the surface. 9 degrees, without changing your pitch relative, I don't even know, whatever. On our present, near the equatorial orbit, prograde is due east. That means to increase our inclination, that our orbit takes us to higher latitudes, we need to burn towards the north. Let's try that now. Turn the ship to heading 360 degrees and open the throttle. 360 degrees. So let's roll this way a little bit, I guess. Oh. Roll, and then go to 360 degrees. Oh. Okay, yeah, this is about right in the middle. Okay. And open the throttle. Let's do it. Notice how as you burn north, your orbit starts to tilt up, but the periapsis and apoapsis nodes remain mostly the same. That's because we are accelerating on a completely new direction, so this maneuver doesn't add or take away any energy from the orbit. Keep accelerating north until your inclination is about 10%. Ah, look at that. It's awesome. Good. This is how you change your orbital inclination. For these maneuvers, it's always best to do so in the slowest parts of the orbit, so you don't have to spend as much delta V to turn your orbit around. That also means the inclination changes on larger orbits, such as we are now. Take less fuel on this than the same inclination changes on a lower one. Also, keep in mind that changing inclination doesn't necessarily mean accelerating to the north or south. It means accelerating 90-degree headings to your prograde vector, which are near the equatorial orbit also happens to be toward the north. Next, let's look at the last essential maneuver you'll need to learn, lowering our orbit. As you can imagine, lowering your orbit's altitude is very much like raising it, only in reverse. Because there's no air up here, we can use our main engines to decelerate as well as accelerate, because nothing says we have to be facing some direction or another. Also, since our orbit is nearly circular, we can just turn retrograde and do our burn at any time now, so let's get to it. Turn towards the retrograde vector and start those engines up again. Okay, let me roll. I like rolling to that. Okay, retrograde. And burn. Speed. Keep burning retrograde until your parallax is around 30,000 meters. Try getting as close as possible this time. If you overshoot it, get you low, turn program and accelerate again. Slow down. Oh. Okay, there we go. That's it. You're now on your way back. 30,000 meters is low enough to be in the atmosphere, so you're now on a re-entry course to Kerbin. Once we're below 60,000 meters, the atmosphere will start slowing the ship down so that it won't have enough velocity to rise back up again. This is the end of our lesson now. You can continue doing maneuvers on your own or wait for a periapsis and do a re-entry and land. Don't forget to decouple the capsule and deploy the parachutes. See you on the ground. I'm gonna do that. Let's go. Okay. Oh man. Okay, so you have to be not warping to move your ship. Okay, this is really dumb. Okay, let's go up, and then F. F, yeah, D, whatever. Let's go. What just happened? The music just stopped. Using physics warp can affect the structural stability of the vessel. Careful using it. Okay. Let's go back into this view. Oh, dude, that's so awesome. That is really, really cool. Is our periapsis going down? 28,000. Okay, so I think that we are falling now. Ah, dude, that is so cool. Okay, let's turn retrograde. Oh, this way. And let's burn a bit. So we can fall even faster. We're gonna do an ocean landing here. Yeah, the map's like, you're gonna die. Oh, yeah. Okay, now let's turn off our thruster so we can still land in the water. So because we want to preserve our parts, you know. Speed up a bit. Let's just do that. That's so awesome. Boom. That's so cool. Where does it say we're gonna land now? Still in the water? Not quite. But that is. That's so awesome. Nope, that's not gonna land in water either. Oh, it did. I guess it did land in water. Nope, never mind. Landed like in the bay. Oh yeah. Coming into land. Awesome. Okay, that's it for today's video. It's gone on pretty long. I'll see what I can cut out of there that's not fun. But we're gonna do the last training mission on. Let's see if we can end scenario. Yeah. We're gonna do the last training, which is, what is the next training mission? To the moon, part 1. Yeah, we're gonna land on the moon. In the next video, and then hopefully we'll start on some new games. I'm not really sure what the game has in store for us, but yeah, maybe we might even do some of these ones to get a little bit better. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments if you liked this, the Kerbal Space Program, and if you want to see more of the videos. And also remember that if you want to play with me on any game, I don't think that this is multiplayer, but if you want to play with me on my Minecraft series or whatever, if you want me to start a new series, don't be afraid to go to bit.ly/playwithquent. That's capital P, capital W, and capital Q there. And you can fill out a little form there. It's really easy to fill out, and I will get to play with you guys. It's just basically letting me know how to get in contact with you. And as always, be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe if you liked what you saw, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a nice day.